It is one of Georgia's oldest cold cases, and after 35 years, the mystery has been solved, and Baby Jane Doe has a name, Kenyatta Odom. While it reads like a mystery novel, it is real life, and it was solved through persistent detective work by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the Ware County Sheriff's Office. Joining me live via Zoom from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Special Agent in Charge Jason Seacrist. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Bruce. Thanks for having me.
Sure. This is the story that has the body of a small child that was found wrapped in a baby blanket, placed in a gym bag inside a cement-filled suitcase, which was then hidden in a TV console cabinet in Ware County in 1988, 35 years ago, and culminated in 2 arrests and you finally being able to identify that 5-year-old baby. How did that big break come about?
Well, first, it started with just good investigative work from the very beginning. This case was worked very hard from the time that the GBI was called in collaboration with the Ware County Sheriff's Office. The work never stopped. But in 2019, we began to look at DNA genome sequencing and being able to try to match that with genealogy records. In 2022, that got us to some known family members in Albany, but didn't quite get us far enough. At that point, it was just solid investigative work by the agents and the investigators to track down. And then really the deal breaker was a tip. We got a tip from the public that narrowed us down to right where we needed to be. And then it was just investigative work, continuing to investigate, continuing to interview, continue to check records, just continuing to put the work in. This is a great case of the combination of forensic technology and then also good investigative work, solid work by the agents and the investigators. And it just brought us to the answer.
So let me back up a bit and explore the timeline a bit further. The body was found in '98. Evidence was found, as you said, tying her to Albany, Georgia. And you found she was killed, but the cause of death couldn't be determined at that time.
That's correct. They weren't able to determine the manner of death as homicide, but because of the condition of the child, they were not able to determine a cause of death. And that is something that is being reviewed by the medical examiner's office right now as we have gained more information through the investigation.
So then we fast forward to 2019. You mentioned genome sequencing was used to tie the remains to a family tree in Albany. But then you got a tip from the public in 2022, which just goes to tell us that there's always somebody out there that knows something. Did you wonder why somebody sat on that for so long?
You do wonder, and you just never know. I was talking to one of the former agents that was working this case 10 years ago. He and I had a phone call, and there was a lot of media releases through the years about this. Sometimes it's timing. Sometimes there's just a moment in time in a person's life where it just strikes them hard enough that they realize they need to call somebody, which is why we never stop working these cases. We never stop trying to make media announcements because we never know when that right person is going to come forward to give us the tip that we need.
The 2 people arrested, the child's mother, Evelyn Odom, also known as Zemeka Luciana, and her stepfather, Ulysses Sanders. They flew under the radar for 35 years. So I don't know if you can talk about this because it's still a fresh case. When agents swooped in and made the arrest, they had to have been shocked.
Well, there had been contact prior to the arrest where we had reached out to them. So I don't know how shocked they were, but I think when we initially contacted them, there was definitely some surprise that after all these years, they were being asked questions about Kenyatta.
Personal question. As a police agency, as somebody who's worked on this case, there has to be a satisfaction that a case that is 35 years old has been solved, and perhaps even more importantly, this little girl has a name.
Absolutely. When you go back and you read the case file and you look at the pictures, and to think that a parent actually tossed this child basically into an illegal trash site off the side of the road, it is heartbreaking to consider what that child lived through. That wasn't just a one moment in time. People don't get to that point generally just in one moment. To think of the life that child had to live through even up to that point, and then to just be thrown away. The satisfaction of the agents and the investigators and myself that have worked on this case, and all the agents and investigators that have worked on it through the years, I can't express it in words. We have received phone calls and messages from other people that have worked on this case through the years, And everybody is just thrilled that this was able to come to a conclusion, not only in identifying her, which is difficult enough, but also in getting enough evidence to secure an arrest.
And I've got to ask you, I said this is one of the oldest cases, cold cases in Georgia. If I'm not mistaken, there's another that's something like 65 years old. Does it make you wonder, hey, maybe, just maybe, we'll get to the bottom of that one?
There are, and there are a lot of cold cases that are being worked just as hard as this, and that we are looking at forensic evidence that can be reevaluated with the new technologies. I believe that we are going to continue to see these cold cases solved based on that new technology. The GBI has even started up a new cold case unit that is purely dedicated to evaluating these cold cases and being able to look at evidence that can be tested in a way that wasn't available at the time that the crimes were committed. I think we're going to continue to see more of these cases solved.
And to the public, you know, if something jogs your memory, if you saw something, even if it was many, many years ago, hey, get in touch with you, right?
Absolutely. It's incredibly important. Working an investigation and bring it to a conclusion is not magic. It does take, yes, knowledge and dedication of the agents and investigators that work it, but sometimes we need a tip. We need that right piece of information that pushes us over the finish line. So if you think you have that information, please call the tip line. On any case, we do continually get tips, and we do continually investigate those. It's part of our ongoing process in working these cold cases.
Jason Seacrist, thanks for your time. Have a great day. I appreciate you.
Thank you. You too.